What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Fight Like Hell podcast, coming to you for episode 86. It is a Thursday, March 16th, 2023. Is today St. Patrick's Day?
That's
Or
tomorrow.
tomorrow? Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm fucking it up already. Happy early St. Patty's Day. Oh
Yeah,
my
we're not
God.
gonna do a replay of last
Oh my
year.
God.
Or
No,
two
that was
years ago. No, it's
two
year
years
2 years
ago. Two
ago.
years ago. All right. I got my heterosexual life mate to my left, Austin, and below us, I'm gonna do the honors of introducing our guest. We got Mr. Rob Cassidy, one of my buddies from Alaska. Rob, how are you doing tonight?
Great, man. I appreciate the opportunity of being out here with you guys. It's been nice following you guys for the last 2 years. So I'm excited to talk and get this going for everybody.
Yeah, man. It was really cool when we were talking in the green room before we went live. I was like, "Have you listened to our episode?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "This is episode 86. You just hit 2 years on your last episode." And I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot." Cassidy actually listens to the show because you've DM'd me before after a show or something like that and brought up stuff. So it's it's really cool when we actually get people to come on who are fans of the show and have something to offer to the show as well. And I guess we could start by doing a basic summary of who you are and what you do.
Yeah. Thanks again, guys. It's been a pleasure being out here. Active duty military. I'm a medical logistician. I've been all over the world. Been to Louisiana, been to Texas, been to Alaska, Guam, Alaska. I mean, I love Alaska. I keep repeating it. But now I'm in Florida. Supply guy for the hospital. So I just supply band-aids to the doctors. Doctors do their job. I get after it afterwards. I'm an ultra runner in my free time. Love being out there on the trails, running miles and miles day after day. And then I have my beautiful daughter here, Coco, who you guys will be hearing. She loves to be out there. She's my trail buddy, and we get after our training together.
And who is Coca exactly, or
So
Coco?
Coco, she can't jump this high, but if she could stand
Okay.
as tall as me, she was. She's a Vizsla Weimaraner mix. She's my daughter, 2 years old. We're gonna be celebrating 3 in September, so super excited. She's been a great help and addition to the family. Love getting after the trails to make sure she runs, get her out in the mornings. So
Okay.
it's a great time.
Cool. Well, Austin, I guess I didn't really even let you get a chance to talk.
Oh, you're
So
fine. It's okay.
how are you?
Terrible.
Terrible.
Let's
You
put it
you
with
didn't
you.
seem you didn't seem motivated this week. You seemed out of it. You
Never
sounded
motiv-
like me. You sounded like me. Like do we really have to do this? Of course we have to do this.
I've never motivated to put up with you.
Okay, fair enough. Well, the reason why we do this show is honestly because of our guests. And with that being said, let's take a moment to actually promote ourselves. Hey, I actually
Hey,
did it for
look, you
once.
did it right this time.
Yeah, I know. I usually go straight into our sponsors. But anyways, we are the Fight Like Hell podcast. This is our 86th episode. We have been doing this now for just over 2 years. And if you really like the show, or you've been on the show, or you want to see more or help us expand our content beyond I don't even remember how many countries we're in right now, however many countries we're in. If you want to help us expand this, please share this podcast. Please like it. We're on all streaming services. We're also on YouTube. Austin finally caught us up. We were like 5 episodes behind. I yelled at him on Monday, and then all of a sudden he had it done in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
Yeah, exactly.
When you have better internet than Starlink,
What's your internet situation again?
I have fiber.
Okay. And what are you getting down?
I got a gig up and 300 down.
Okay. That's pretty speedy. Okay, cool. All right. Well, let's get into our actual sponsors because I think we skipped them last week.
You did. You were too excited to get into the podcast.
I was excited. All right. So the official sponsors of the podcast are Invicta Coffee Co. Invicta Coffee Co. is a company out of Arizona. They are a veteran-owned coffee company that, my God. veteran-owned coffee company out of Arizona, where our friend Spencer comes up with different recipes for amazing coffee. If you'd like to save some money on that incredible coffee and get some shipped to your door, you can either do a subscription model or you can actually just get a bag of coffee or two sent your way. Use the promo code Fight Like Hell, all one word, Fight Like Hell, and you'll get 10% off of your total order. Our next official sponsor of the podcast is PatriotCookies.co. I feel like you should be reading these again, Austin. I feel like you did the best on it when you did the AI version.
I mean,
My
you
brain
just you
keeps
just fail hard.
Dude, it's been bad. Like, I feel like work's killing me. Lol, this is your fault. All right. Anyways, PatriotCookies.co. They are a company out of sunny Florida. Our friend Johnny B. TacFit. He's the local cookie dealer out there. He will get stuff to your doors, always coming up with new recipes. Every time I go on their Instagram or see their reels pop up, something's coming up new for just an amazing taste. I think they even did a Lucky Charms one for March. Yeah, I saw that the other day. It was nice and like gooey, and they opened it up and there's like marshmallow Lucky Charms and stuff in it. If you'd like to save 15% on some amazing cookies shipped to your door, use the promo code Fight Like Hell, all one word, Fight Like Hell, all one word. I'm going to shut the fuck up for a second. You take back over, Austin.
Good job. About fucking time.
It was terrible.
So, well, we're gonna do it. Let's get into weekend adventures. What'd you do this past week and this coming weekend, Robert?
So, for me, this past weekend, I got out, explored the local area, got some sunlight in. Need to get my brown back on. You know, being in Alaska, lost a lot of color. You know, winter season just came by, so browning out, getting ready. Trained, got some miles in for this upcoming race. This upcoming weekend, I'll be out at the movie theaters with my troops. We're going to go out and do a resiliency event and watch Creed 3. Figured it'd be a good motivation tool for them.
Oh, there you go.
And a great way to show a motivational story from a different perspective. So that's what this plan is. And then just start tapering for next weekend.
So on the recent run that you did, how far was that?
So the last race was the Mississippi Trail 50. So a 50-mile race.
Okay. Wow. Okay. And that was last weekend?
It was 2 weekends ago. So
2 weekends
originally,
ago.
yeah, it was going to be a 100-mile race. I had a military TDY, so business trip for our civilian friends that cut into the original race schedule. So I had to cut it down to 50. Race director was really cool and let me do it. Just came back and I said, I got to get there ASAP, drove from the airport and then got after it the next morning. So
holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. We are definitely going to get into the ultra stuff because there's a lot of questions I have, and just in general, like I'm excited to actually talk to you about it because you're our first ultra runner that we've had on. We've had a couple marathon people on. We've had some fitness people, and I was thinking about the other day, like you're one of my friends. Like I've known you since probably what, like 2017, 2018.
Yes,
Or
sir.
whatever. Yeah, whenever you got up to Alaska, you and I became friends and would hang out, hike, work out, stuff like that. And you were always a badass out there. So it was fun to like follow, hang out, do stuff. We had mutual friends. So it's been cool watching the growth. We'll definitely get into more of that. Austin, what did you do on the weekend?
Fucking nothing. Same as usual.
Dude, I feel like you did something. You didn't do anything?
Not this past weekend, no.
Oh my God. You like do like one thing a year on a weekend.
Yep, that's it.
Do better. Just do better.
No.
But
Okay.
you know, Austin will go out there with you though. It'll be all over that social media. So Austin gets his reps.
Dude, we'll talk about reps here in a minute because I almost gave him the same challenge. And
Howard told him to go fuck himself.
Yeah. All right. So weekend adventures for me, a little bit of hockey. What did we do on Sunday? I think we went and saw the movie. That movie that we were talking about with our last guest. What the fuck was that movie? 65.
60. So yeah, something like that.
It was really good. It was really good. There's dinosaurs. There's like incredible, almost like lightsaber guns, which are indicative of Kylo Ren, aka Adam Driver. I felt like they kind of like meshed a little bit of Star Wars with it. Really good. And then I think that Friday, the only thing that's relevant to our next topic that I wanted to talk about is I completed something that you had put out on social media. And what was that, Cassidy?
So we put out the Murph challenge. For those of you who don't know, it's the 1 mile run followed by 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 air squats, and then you finish hard with another mile race. That goes to our friends, our fallen warriors from Operation Red Rings, specifically Lieutenant Murph. Michael Murph. So Murphy, I mean, it was a great time. I like doing challenges to honor our fallen veterans and, you know, bring awareness to what goes on in the military, because what everybody sees isn't what happened behind closed doors. And we do have our unfortunate events, and it's great to get out there and honor people who did the work and to sweat blood for them as well.
Yeah. And that wasn't the first time you ever did one, was it?
No.
Okay,
So
I figured as much.
yeah, my buddy Dakota in Alaska, he would usually smoke my ass in the gym, and he'd be like, "Let's go do a Murph for fun," and he'd just tear my ass apart. So, yeah, I've got experience with the Murph.
You know, I kind of liked that we did that because the thing that messes me up the most on the Murph is the pull-ups. Like my lats and biceps hurt so bad for so long post. Like the recovery on that is the worst. Everything else like kind of recovers at a decent rate. But it was nice to like shock the body with it like premature, because typically you do the Murph Memorial Day weekend in May. So we're like a few months early. And what I was thinking, oh wait, I actually have a question. You sent that out to how many people?
So I sent it out to six specifically.
Okay. How many actually did it?
So far, I know of two. So you and Norbs did it.
Dude, it would all right here. So for our listeners, because I think I told you this, Cassidy, and I know I told Austin, I saw you tagged me in it, and I was like, fuck, I can't do a Murph right now. Like, there's no way. Like, I did a half-ass Murph because I was injured during the Murph. I was barely weight bearing. I was using a walker for my last Murph. But anyways, I was thinking in my head, I was like, okay, so what? He tagged you. At least he didn't say your name. And then I go back and I play the video again because I'm like, maybe I won't even put this on my story. I'll just pretend like I didn't see it. And then the first person you called out was me. And I'm like, fuck, he called me out first. I'm like, now I have to do it because I saw like a bunch of tags and I'm like, well, he didn't call everyone. And I missed the first couple of seconds where he called out me. So I was thinking like I could get out of it if he didn't say my name, but you said my name first, and I'm like, fuck, now I have to do this.
Oh,
But
absolutely, bro.
And then of course the weather was terrible when you did.
oh, it was sunny and beautiful all week out here in Arizona. We finally started losing some of our snow, and I just kept putting it off. And I'm like, maybe I'll do it Monday because I think you like challenged me on Sunday. I think it was like Sunday, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And I came back late that night, had a hockey game, and I was like, my gym days this week are Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Like, I could do it Monday. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to do it Wednesday. And then Wednesday rolled around. I'm like, nah, I'm going to do it Friday. And then all day Friday, it just rained and was shitty. And it was like 34 degrees. So it's like just above freezing. So, yeah. Super annoying, but at the same time, if you can see in this picture here, I think it says 2013. Yeah, it does. That was the first Murph I ever did. And the funny story behind that, Murph, was I had never done a single CrossFit workout in my entire life. I was in decent shape. I was living in Germany, and my buddy kept inviting me to go do CrossFit, go do CrossFit, go do CrossFit. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about your cult. I think I'm good. He's like, dude, he's like, come out this weekend. We're doing it's Memorial Day weekend. We're gonna honor the fallen. This would be a good chance for you. We're doing this thing. It's called the Murph. Don't worry, it's not that hard. Like you'll be fine. Yeah, my first introduction to CrossFit was a full Murph. However, I did not do it with a vest that year. The following year and years forward, I've done it with a vest. But yeah, so I'm done rambling about it.
Oh, I absolutely knew I was challenging you day one because I've known you've done it in the past, and I was like, "Look, Rob's inspirational." And I remember seeing your post last year when
Oh,
you were
okay,
doing the
cool.
modified version of it, and that's inspirational for many people as well. Because I remember last year I wasn't in the mood. I just finished a race. I was sucking it up, and then I saw your post, and I was like, "This man's out here in a boot modifying this workout, and he's still getting it, and he added to it."
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what it's about. It's about inspiration. So commend you, my friend, on that. That is amazing. So
And a
I-
wild Finn appears.
Oh, okay. I guess he's climbing
I'm
up.
like, oh. And a wild Finn decides to join the podcast.
he wants to find
Amanda, you had
Coco.
one job.
Okay, well, while Rob's dealing with that, let's get into your backstory and a little bit of why you joined, what made you join and all that.
Yeah, so going into why I joined, I come from a military family. Both my parents served in the Army. My dad was more of a tanker, and my mom worked in the motor pool. She was supply. And, growing up in a household of discipline, we learned a lot about team sports and bonding. I grew up and I was like, oh, I'm going to go to college. But then I realized I wanted to change. I wanted to travel. I wanted to get out there and explore. I wanted to still get my education done. And I said, the military would be great. I want to start a foundation for my life, get away from home and just get comfortable being uncomfortable with new challenges. And I signed up, and I was originally going to go to the Army. And my parents were like, no, absolutely not with these ASVAB scores. So they're like, you're going to the Air Force right now.
Smart decision. I swear to God,
Yeah.
I would tell my future kid, do not go in the Army.
Yeah, I was joking with my buddies because we would go to the Marine DEP meetings, and they kept trying to pull us in there because like, oh, you're a runner, you could do this. I was like, nah, I just run cross country for fun. And then my recruiter walked over and he was like, yeah, I got this guy coming to the Air Force, and he's like, what's his name? And he told him, he's like, oh, fuck you. I was trying to get that guy since day one. So it kind of played out in a funny way. I definitely wanted Army because the structure and how it works, and how I saw my parents. Then I saw the Marines. I was like, yeah, let's go hard. I'm down for a challenge. But using the mind, that's where I went with the Air Force. So that's how I came in, and then I just haven't looked back since. Just did a reenlistment. So 4 more years.
Okay. Where did you, and I apologize if I missed this, like Finn was like making out with me. Where did you start from? Like where did you MEPS from and like come into the Air Force from?
So I came in from my hometown, Houston.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit. What part of Houston? Amanda's from Houston.
So Atascocita is a specific area. So Humble, Texas is part of that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge. So I always tell people 45 minutes southeast of downtown.
Okay. Yeah, she just moved from the Heights.
Okay, I'm
Houston
kind of
Heights.
familiar with the area. Yep.
And then she lived somewhere on, I always forget the name of the town. It's a small east side town. I'll message her during the podcast. We'll find out. Continue your story.
Yeah, so came from there, went down to Lackland, got off that bus, and I was just ready to go. Different than what I expected it to be. Then from there, I went to Fort Sanford, tech school, AIT for the Army folks, and was there for a month. Then I got shipped over to Louisiana. I joined to leave home, and I'm just a couple minutes away. And
Okay. And what'd you join as?
I joined as a medical logistician, so just supply
Okay.
troop.
And what made you decide to go medical?
So I went in, and I was like, my passion is to go for, I wanted to be a pharmacy technician. I was doing medical rotations in high school, and I said, well, let's go. And they said, pick all these jobs, and I didn't even have logistics on there. And I was like, oh, let me do radiology technician. Let me go be a 4N. Let me just go through this list, or med techs. And here I am, a supply troop. And I was like, okay, well, let's make this work. And so they just kind of picked my fate, and that's what happened from there.
Okay. And so explain to what exactly do you do?
All right. So as a medical logistician, we process many things for the facility. We're like the heart of the hospital. You can't really get any supplies in unless you have a medical logistician in your team. We're in charge of all the equipment for the facility. We're in charge of ordering everything you think of: the IVs, the catheters, the sterilizer units, everything from top to bottom comes through us, even your pens and pencils. We process that stuff. We also manage the deployment assets. So we have hospitals in the tent box that we send down range to help people out. We set up hospitals in deployed environments, which we call our medical support systems, or EMEDS plus 25s. We also manage all your contract needs. So you can have your contract providers, contract nurses, and contract front desk clerks. We handle everything. There's 6 jobs in our one career field. I love it. There's a lot to it. I mean, we can work in the warehouse like Amazon troops. There's so many things to do in this field.
Yeah, and don't you guys get the stuff that comes in for systems too?
Yes, so we will get all the IT assets. They'll come into our warehouse. We'll coordinate with you guys. Recently, we just got like laptops and stuff like that in for all these new transitions.
Yeah, because I remember we and I'm pretty sure that's how. Well, I know that Tim, who worked with me, or Timmy, worked with me, and he was good friends with you, and that's how I met you. But you were also down there in supply, and whatever we had, laptops or anything that came into the hospital, like anything and everything that needs to come into the hospital goes through you guys, and then it gets issued out per. I almost called them division, but per unit, I guess. I'm thinking about where I currently work. Sorry.
It's all good. It's potato for us. We'll issue it out regardless.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And so let's go over all the places you've been and like the time frames. So how old were you when you went into the military?
Joined straight out of high school, but I waited to finish the World Cup in 2014. Big soccer fan, so I told my family this will be the parting gift. I want to watch the World Cup, and my team won that year, Spain. Of course, I go for USA, but I was always rooting for Spain. So I left in July of 2014. Got to Lackland, graduated September, went to tech school from September to December. From there, I was at Fort Sam, and then I PCS to Barksdale, Louisiana. Shreveport. So I was there from December of 2014 to March of 2018. Got orders to Incirlik, Turkey. I was ready. I was like, let's go. Let's go overseas. It's about to happen. Just do a short tour there, 1 year there. Loved it. Great experience. Created my military family. Very tight connections. Still talk to some of them today. Found out I was going to Alaska before I went. Was ready for a change. I've never seen snow in my life. Never really been around mountains in Texas. So I was like, this is going to be an amazing assignment. Get there March of 2019. There for 3 years, so I found my passion of running, which we'll get into later, as you guys talked about. And then moved to Panama City, Florida last year in March. So I just hit my 1 year mark here in Florida. Moved a lot for somebody's only been in for 8 years, 4 bases, got a lot of TDYs under my belts. So very busy person.
Yeah. And since we're both fans of it, let's talk about Alaska.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Because I mean,
So,
like that had to have been like Incirlik's really cool. Being Turkey's
mhm.
legit. And did you actually? We'll step backwards before we get into the fun part or fun stuff. When you were in Turkey, did you get to travel at all out there, or were
No,
you guys
no.
on lockdown?
Yeah, we're on lockdown, so I called it my 1-year prison tour, so I know what it's like on the inside.
Oh shit!
It was a great challenge, you know. That's where that family connection really came
Mhm,
through. We just got to know our Turkish nationals, made really good
mhm.
friends with them, and they kind of brought their culture from off base on base. So we got to experience like the baklava, the
Yeah.
desserts, the really good, you know, kebabs, everything you could think of. They would just share with us, and it was nice to see it from there. I only got to go off one time in the morning because I had to fly all the way to California, and I felt like I was being escorted by Secret Service. Couldn't talk
Oh,
to anybody. Got in a black van at like 3 a.m. in the morning, and they just sped all the way to the airport. We were going like 100 miles per hour just to get to the airport. Got out, and they just like blocked the entrance. And I had to follow them in, and I didn't get to see anything. So
oh my
it
god.
was pretty interesting.
Jeez.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Experiences may vary. I
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah.
I definitely, I
Secret
definitely,
Service style.
yeah. Because I've been to Turkey and
Mm.
I went to Cappadocia, which was super legit. It's like hot air balloon capital of the world, and they have like these caves and shit that you can go in that you can actually like live in. They have like whole cities and shit. And I also went to, why can't I think of the main city there? It's the only Istanbul. There we go. I got it right before you about ready said it. I almost said it. Yeah. Which random fun fact, Istanbul is the only city in the world that sits on two continents. It sits in Asia and it sits in Europe.
Look at you actually knowing something for once.
I know. I feel smart. I should shut up before I ruin it. All right, let's get on to the fun stuff. Alaska.
Yes.
Never heard of it.
Well, if you don't know, it's like 3/4 the size of the United States. They make sure they let you know it's bigger than Texas. It's like 3
Oh yeah,
Texas.
yeah, of course.
It's up in Canada, isn't it?
Kind of.
I didn't pass geography, and it seems like Rob is the expert, so I'll defer back to him.
I thought Alaska was part of Canada, you know?
Oh no, I got a funny one for you. So there was a guy who PCS'd into Alaska, first duty station, was from Georgia, did his initial like schooling and everything, whatever you guys call your bullshit basic training vacation, um, basic down to Texas. He shows up to Alaska in the middle of winter in shorts and like t-shirts and has like one hoodie. And
That's all you need, right?
his NCO is like, "Where are your winter clothes?" He's like, "Why would I need winter clothes?" He's like, "Because you're in Alaska." And he's like, "Well," he's like, "I figured since it was so close to Hawaii, my parents told me it was going to be hot." Because have you ever seen on like the maps where they take Alaska and Hawaii and they put them down below California? So he thought that like it was located in the southern portion of the United States, like below California. So they had to go out and like buy this E1, a bunch of like clothing and get him into the area where they pick up like cold weather gear because he was gonna freeze to death like the first day or two he was there. Yeah.
You know, me and my buddies joke about it. It's that Southern education, bro. You know, they don't give us what the Northerners get. So
Yeah. I mean, I feel it coming from Florida. So, ugh. Okay.
yeah, big culture change.
So you get to Alaska and you immediately like it. You also told me, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were or you are a soccer player.
I was a very, very big
I
soccer
mean, he
player.
did say he liked the World Cup, so I would imagine
Some
he
people are
plays
fans.
soccer.
Some people are fans, and this ties into like some questions I have about ultras.
Mhm.
So, how long have you been playing soccer? First question.
That has been happening since I was 4 years old. As soon as I was able to go out there, my parents are like, "Here you go, try the sport," and fell in love with it. So since I was 4, and then I play every now and then now as I've gotten more competitive in my running just to avoid injury. But I played with my team not that long ago. Still trying to keep myself on my toes. But yeah, since I was 4, it's been an ongoing passion of my life.
Okay, and what position?
All over, but the preferred position is central defensive mid. I like to be able to attack, but I also like to be able to support. It's like that last line of defense for the defenders and the goalie. So it's a lot of pressure, in my opinion. But if I play with other teams, very versatile. So I'll play left back, left full back, whatever you want to call it, or center back.
Okay. And do you think that it sounds like soccer is in your DNA, and from what I understand, you guys are pretty much running a marathon in a game. I mean, do you ever keep track of how many steps or the distance that you've run in a game?
No, I've never officially kept count. I've always wondered growing up. I know that there's some research studies out there that midfielders are doing like 8 to 10, forwards are hitting about like 6 to 7, defenders about like that 3 to 6 range, and goalies maybe hit a mile. I mean, they're just kind of waiting for action. So yeah, I've wondered, but I've never actually tracked it.
So it's more, if you were to guess though, is it more like maybe a half marathon or like a 10K?
Definitely a 10K. Definitely 10K. 5K minimum, 10K probably average for peeps.
Yeah. But still, that's like, I don't know, like with hockey, we could play anywhere from 1 to 4 times a week. Is that the same for soccer, essentially?
Yeah, so it just depends on the local area. Some adult leagues I've played in, we played, multiple times, and depending on your team, how competitive you want to be, you'll practice several times a week. When I used to play in high school, you still got club soccer on the outside, so you not only play for your school, but then you also play for your club team, and you could be a part of multiple club teams. So you have like 3 games maybe one week. You have tournaments in the summer, so you're doing like double headers on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Usually playing in a championship final if you make it that far. But yeah, it's a lot on the body for sure. The more you play club.
Okay. Austin, did you have a question on that? Or are you just staring off into oblivion?
Just staring off into oblivion.
Okay. Okay. You should pay attention. You look sleepy.
I'll just fall asleep over here.
Don't do that. Okay, so soccer's always been a backbone. You also mentioned that you did cross country, and that started in high school, or when?
Yeah, so I got into cross country as an off-season sport for soccer. So soccer was in the spring season for us, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm playing club soccer outside of school. I think I want to get better in conditioning. Playing a midfielder, I was like, I need to run a lot more. So let me get this cardio game up, and I enrolled in fall semester cross country. Wouldn't consider myself a competitive person. Was just there for the open races and just to build my aerobic base. Fell in love with it. I mean, the team sport is everything to me, and the cross country team was just more than an individual thing. It was every race we're out there cheering for everybody. We cheered for the girls cheered for us, the guys. Every race you had your full team there, whether you were open race, freshman, JV, or varsity. It was just one big family. So yeah, I did that for 2 years, my junior and senior year of high school.
When did that bleed into the desire to do either, like, I'm trying to build a progression here to like the ultras. So what was the next step? Are we at like half marathons or marathons, or what was next and timelines?
So I get to Barksdale. My commander is a very fit guy. He loves to run. I'm this really young 19-year-old, got a chip on my shoulder. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go out there and run hard every day. I'm gonna prove my commander wrong. He beats me in the first PT test that we take together. It's only a mile and a half, but he beats me by like a split second. He cuts me off, and I'll never forget it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna train hard every day. So I kept training and training and training. Eventually I was just like, I'm playing soccer for the base team, so this isn't really working. Let me do like soccer and bodybuilding. Didn't really get competitive in running or get back into running till, let's say 5-6 years later in Alaska. That's when I really got back into it. But in that meantime, I was playing a lot of soccer. That's what really kept me going. The first race was a 5K in Alaska, Run for Your Heart 5K. I'll remember that one. It's very special to my heart. And, I'm not trying to jump the gun here and go into the ultra thing. But yeah, so I wouldn't say till 2019, that was my first time getting back into running.
Okay. Were you doing a lot of stuff with like Skinny Ravens events?
Yeah, so I did the Run for Your Heart 5K for the American Cancer Center, and afterwards I got connected with Skinny Raven, and then just started meeting people through the base and through the church I went to at that time, and then just kind of picked up. I was just getting into running, so did the pub runs on Tuesdays, and I just
Yeah. That's what I'm angling at. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about and you're not from Alaska, including whoever that guy is over there.
Yeah, this guy over here.
So Skinny Ravens is a company in Alaska. It's a shoe store, but it's also like way more than that. They sponsor a ton of different like 5Ks. They do full marathons. They do half marathons. I don't know if they do ultras. Do they?
I haven't seen them at ultras. I know that one of the races I went to, they had their gear there, but the race director bought it and then gave it out to us.
Okay. But in general, like they're and you can expand on this or correct me if you think differently, but they're more or less like a community for Alaskans who want to run year round. And they have that Tuesday event where everyone meets up. They give you like a 5K or a 2 mile or a 6 mile run, something like that. Like it's never the same distance and it's usually not the same pathway. And you go run around downtown Anchorage. You start at Skinny Ravens, then you go out, you do your run, and you come back. And then they have a dedicated like party spot afterwards where you get discounts on food and drinks and you get to like socialize with a bunch of other runners. And it's a lot of fucking fun, actually.
Yeah, great networking activities too. I mean, you hit it spot on. And the more you go out there, the more they bump you into this raffle. Or if you went to the pubs, they'd be like, all right, so you get this Skinny Raven scarf, you get this Skinny Raven shirt. And they would always try to get their name out there too. But they would also build like running events for the community. So they'd be like, all right, today you're going to run with Coach Tom or Coach Sally. And we're going to teach you warm-ups, cool downs. They're a half marathoner, they're a marathoner. So they would really try to connect you with people in the community who've been doing it for a while. Saw a lot of marathoners out there. I got inspired by their shirts. And Skinny Raven, they host a lot. They do a lot for Alaska. And that was one of the ways I got into it was through them.
I mean, I'm not a runner right now, but I was a runner in the military. I took a break for a little while and I became just a fun runner. Like I did a marathon in Germany, and after I did a marathon, I was like, "Fuck marathons! I can't like run this far. I don't understand why people want to do this." But at least you're
So
not
you're doing
bicycle.
ultra next, right?
No. I'll get into that when we get into ultras. There's a reason why, and it's not lack of. I'll explain later. All right, but anyways, Skinny Ravens was one of those only things that kept me interested in running because it was a whole like it was like a family out there, and you had to start and or finish at their facility, and they have all the cool new shoes that are coming out, and like you can get set up with spikes for your shoes. I had certain trail running shoes that had spikes built in. I learned about micro spikes. I learned about smaller spikes, just like different things that way you could literally run year round, which is crazy if you think about it for Alaska.
Yeah, and I liked how they bring out some of the companies too, like the Spike Bugs, and they would
Hmm.
talk you through like their products and okay, you do this, you get, this amount off your race, and they would sponsor them at the beginning. So it's a very, very good community for Alaska because you're thinking you're running in negative temps in the winter. Who wants to do that? Well, you can go run with Rob over there who has all this gear that we talked him through, and he'll show you some courses and stuff. I mean, I've had the pleasure to meet some people out there that I'm one of those crazy people who run in the winter, so they really set you up for success too. You got a lot of people there from different backgrounds, different experiences. Shoes are always on point. You get like a reward system there with a card. Each purchase you get takes, it adds up, and then you eventually get a free shoe after 10 purchases, stuff
Yep.
along that line.
Yeah. And ironically, with it being St. Patty's Day tomorrow, my first ever run with Skinny Ravens, and I saw on your Instagram, you did this one too, was the Shamrock Shuffle. Um,
Yep.
Austin, would you be so kind to bring up his Instagram? Because I wanted to talk about a couple of
No,
the
I can't do
runs and
that.
I wanted to show off pictures of Coco. So, all right, we're progressing forward. We're at the point now where you're deeply embedded in the community of runners and Alaska. What was your entry into your first ultra and the distance?
So, first entry into ultra, it was wild. I did a marathon. You said, who the hell does marathons? Well, I'm
Hmm.
right there with you. You're part of the 1% of the world. So that's a huge thing to think about. Not many people will ever do one. So 1% of the 1%. Congrats, Rob. Austin, I challenge you to do a marathon one day too if you want. You don't
He
have
doesn't
to.
Probably
even
not gonna happen.
he
Probably
doesn't
not gonna
walk.
happen.
He barely walks to his garbage can. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
So I did the, what was it, Kenai 26.2, was
Hmm.
super ready to go. I was like, oh, let's get this. I'm going to go hard. I'm going to finish in like sub 3 hours. Was out there with my buddy Dakota, got wrecked. But I finished reading Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me, probably about like 2 weeks before. And I was like, I'm going to make it through this. I'm going to get through this. This is nothing. And right after that race, I said, I'm going to go do an ultra. Like, if I just made it through this kind of pain, still finished in like 3 hours and 40 something minutes, why not? Let's go. Who's going to stop me? So definitely the pain cave is where I was like, let's do it. So I signed up for a 50 miler
Oh, shit.
and it didn't go the way I wanted it to. But
Okay.
yeah, that was my first experience in the ultra.
Okay. And actually we're gonna pause for a second in honor of Coco. This is Coco when she was a puppy.
Yep, just got her at that point. So I was super excited to welcome her. Got her back in September of 2020.
Yeah. I remember you either sent me pictures on like Snapchat or Instagram or something, or it was on your story, and I was like, oh my God, you have like a chocolate Vizsla. Like, what is that? So okay, and she's oh my God, her eyes. So
Oh
cute.
yeah,
So cute.
that's
And
my girl.
you got her in Alaska or where?
Yes, I
Okay,
did. So
so both Allie and her are from Alaska, Alaska grown Vizslas. And
yes,
there's the
sir.
Shamrock. There's the Shamrock Shuffle that I was just
Yep.
talking about. You had to
Yeah.
run that one in a mask?
So we had to be masked
It was
up at the
2020.
beginning and at the
Mhm.
end. So it was brutal. That's the Kenai marathon right there. It was a busy, busy, busy time. I ran with Team Red, White, and Blue for the Matsu relay race. Then I did the Kenai marathon, then Shamrock Shuffle because it got postponed from March to, I want to say it was like November of that year, October, yeah, something like that.
Holy shit. Yeah, it's in October. Yeah, because everything was going on lockdown. Lockdowns are actually kind of tough in Alaska. What was that like?
That's what kind of helped me find that, passion, right? So,
Mhm.
I was just sitting there in my headspace and I said, I got to get out there. But, it's all small businesses, mom and pop shops. Nothing's open, very limited, one or two people in the store at a time. Like it was interesting to say the least. Even like run starts were staggered starts. We had to wear a mask at the line and be 6 feet apart. They had like little X's everywhere you went, and they'd be like, okay, you're corral 1, you're corral 2, you're corral 3. So they really spaced everything out. Like there's pictures that I have where
crazy.
How did the military handle the whole lockdown thing?
So I was gone during the time we did lockdown. I got sent to Guam on a COVID relief mission. So I was out there during the time. Even there, they had very strict rules where we had so many people. Like my team got locked down in the hotel for 14 days. You had your quarantine. If you were to go anywhere, you had to get like a special pass to go just to the shop bet, right? And you went to the shop bet, they'd be like, okay, there's already 5 people in here. You can't go in. You have to wait till somebody goes, or the gym's closed because there's 20 people in there right now. You're 21, so you got to wait till somebody comes out. There were a lot of rules where it just, you had to hurry up and wait, which you guys know very well. So
Never heard of it. Okay, so Kenai was your first 50, and right, or am I wrong?
So Kenai was my first ever marathon. My first
marathon
ultra
where
was
the ultra at?
Fairbanks, Alaska, in the middle
Holy
of winter.
Fuck no.
Yeah, it was brutal. So the weather was supposed to be nice. Supposed to be, nice as -8 during that time, right?
Oh my god,
and then
dude. What the
I fly
fuck?
up there with my best friend Nick, and it just fucking dumps the day before the race, and it's dumping on the day of the race. Snow was not in the forecast, and I'm running into snow that's up to my kneecap. And yeah, I was like running through mashed potatoes, how I described it. The person who won every year, she couldn't even make the time. So we're all just trucking along. We have everybody doing their little cross country skiing, fat tire biking, because they're allowed to compete against us too. It was an open course. We get to the checkpoint, and the first checkpoint, and then everybody there was like, yeah, none of you guys are going to make it. You're all going to get DQ'd because of the race, the conditions. So knowing that, the first checkpoint kind of was like, are you kidding me? Get to the halfway point, 25 miles in, and they're like, sorry, no runners past this point. You guys are all
shit.
DNF'd.
And was it safety and time was the issue?
So with ultras, you have time limits too for checkpoints. You have to make it there at a certain time, and we were all like 2-3 hours off the cutoff time. It was just so bad. Like
when you're running through that much snow, you can't really. You can only go as fast as you can.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it was just funny seeing like the fat tire bikers and the cross. Yeah, see you at the end. I'm like, yeah, well, I hope to be there, but I'm like really trying my hardest. And even with gaiters, everything on it was like a quad workout. You were hiking the whole time. Get to the halfway point and see ya.
Okay. So I guess when you're doing these ultras, is it a combination of running distances and then occasionally like going down to like a jog and a walk, or is it all out running the entire time?
That's a great question. Really just depends on the ultra itself, so the distance you're going to. A lot of the time I will say we run, power hike, walk, and jog. So it's literally everything. The shorter the distance,
everything.
Yeah, the stronger the runner, the more likely they're going to run. The longer the distance, we got aid stations. We got to check with our crews. We got to do all that stuff where we slow down, sit maybe a little bit, eat, and then get back after it.
Okay.
What's your favorite trail run snack?
My favorite trail run?
No, it's food.
Oh,
snack or something like
well,
something to keep you going.
Love pickles. Just love the salt.
Pickles.
Yeah,
that's so random, but it makes sense.
I got some weird cravings out there, man. There's times where I'm like, I could really just fuck up a pizza right now. Like,
the pizza makes sense, but like,
or I'm thinking about eating a pint of ice cream afterwards. Just something just to really hit me. But I know if I eat that out there, I'm gonna blow up. Like I'm gonna have to go run and take a shit in the woods because it's not gonna settle well.
And that happens, right? Like you guys
Oh.
obviously shit while you run. I
There's
know
a such
that, like,
thing called runner
marath-
shit. Like you're supposed to
yeah,
shit before you start running.
no, but I mean, like, because like, what's the average time for like a 50 miler? Like, how long does
Oof.
that take?
Shoot, I've seen 6 hours to 12 hours. So good
Okay,
guess would be about maybe 8, 9 hours
eight,
for
9 hours. Okay,
yep.
and at a certain point, you're going to have to shit more than likely.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't get the runs in before you go, it's gonna happen while you're out there. So everybody's different, their routine's different. I
Mhm.
try to go beforehand, but if I do go during, hey, it is what it is. We've all run up on a runner peeing or shitting in the woods, so no
Okay.
shame.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's what I figured. What what type of shoes do you like running in?
So me personally, when I'm training, I use minimalist shoes. So barefoot,
Okay.
Vivo barefoots, anything along those lines. I'm really just trying to build my stabilizers and get that natural running form down. When I'm trail running, the best thing to do is ultra, and I go for the most minimalist shoe possible. So I got a Superior 5 right now. Love the shoe. Have another one on order. It's natural to your foot curve. So, ultra's got that wide toe box. Perfect for swelling when you're out there and hitting all those trees, those rocks. Helps out a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I've used ultras before. I've used the minimalist shoes. I, I guess my feet are just weak because they would get beat the fuck up in the ultras. Um, what's your thoughts on like Hoka?
Me, I used Hoka a lot originally,
Hmm.
and I mean, I've used the I want to say
Rencons?
it's yeah, and I use there's another one where you and I had the same one a while ago. I remember I saw it on your story and I was like, yeah, I got those too. Drawing a blank right now. I'm gonna get the name of the
Challengers?
shoe. It's a road running shoe. It's got some
So
thickness
that
to it.
so the Rencons, I know they use for trails. Speed Go or Road is Rencons is one of their popular ones. Trail, Speed Goat, and then there's I think it's called a Challenger. Like they're on the Challenger 7, and that's kind of like a hybrid where you can use it on either because they have like Gore-Tex versions. I personally love them. I wear them all the time as like my daily kickers and for even sometimes like hiking and stuff out here. I don't
Oh
really
yeah,
run that
man.
much anymore, but
If my ultras are destroyed, I have my speed goats ready to go.
mhm.
And I got 2 pairs of those just on standby. So yeah, I used to use Hoka all the time. I wish I knew the name right now. My buddy who's gonna see this, he's gonna laugh because he trains in them. We train them together. So dang, I wish I remember Clifton's. Clifton's, that's what it is. The Hoka
Clifton.
Clifton.
Okay. Not Ultra. I typed in Ulta, like the beauty supply place accidentally.
Hey, no shame, bro.
Hoka.
I got a shipment of foundation coming in too. So
Ah shit. Okay, so they're like on the ninth version of those. Oh, and then I'm looking that up. Um she was born in Jasper. It's southeast Texas, about 70 miles from Belmont. Beaumont. Beaumont.
Beaumont, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
about a good 45 minutes from where I'm from, but I'm
Okay,
familiar
where
with
were
the
you
area.
from again?
I'm from Humble. Just say Humble. That'd probably be the best one.
Humble.
Yep.
Umble.
Humble like Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, humble,
Yeah.
humble, humble. I'm like humble. I thought you said humble earlier. He's from there. Okay. I don't know if I've ever seen these Cliftons. I'm actually due for like some. Oh yeah, I definitely have seen these. And you like these for street?
Yeah, yeah, those would have been my go-to street shoes. Get a lot of mileage in it. I would usually put about like 600, 700 miles on them, even though you're not supposed to, but they would last
Yeah.
that long. Love Hoka too. It's great support for very long distances.
Do you like obviously more about running than we both do? Is is the reason why can we Austin, can we bring up a Hoka so I can like show it to our listeners too? Is
Yeah.
the reason
With
why?
the Cliftons?
Yeah. Bring up the Cliftons, Hoka Cliftons, and you can just bring them up off like Running Warehouse or whatever. Is the reason why the heel is so high to help you from like not heel striking? Is that the idea behind it, or why do they do such a big insole?
So I will say most people's natural running form is to heel strike first, and that's kind of why they put more cushioning at the heel, so that way it's less impact on your knee. Um, that's the best way I can explain it to everybody here, because when you get tired and you fatigue, your body's naturally just going to go to what it's used to, and most people just straight
Heel
heel
strike.
strike. Yeah.
And that's okay. So they basically came up with that exaggerated design um, to help with people that heel strike.
Yeah, there's the picture that we had at a 24-hour vigilance run where I'm wearing my Hoka Cliftons and I'm about maybe 30 miles into it at that point. I'm heel striking, and I felt it the next day when my knees. So it's, in my opinion, I think it's for fatigue resistance.
Okay. I've just always kind of had a curiosity with it because I'm one of the people that wears Hokas that doesn't really even run with them. I just wear them because they're fucking cool looking and I'm outdoorsy. Like it's not like I'm just wearing them to the mall or anything like that. Like I live
It's a
out of
He
the
fashion
wears them
national park.
to
statement,
it. He
bro.
wears them to his office job. What are you
I-
talking about?
I mean, it's at the canyon. I take Allie on white walks and stuff.
It's the whole Reno 911, just new shoe goofing over there. It's cool, bro.
Yeah,
is.
there it is. Okay.
He wears his Ranger panties with his Hokas, and that's what he wears around the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta show off them thunder thighs, bro.
Yeah, that ain't
You
a
mean
thing
his
though.
you mean his chicken legs?
Chicken legs, man. I'm one of those hockey players with tiny legs somehow.
He's like most of you runners over there, nothing but chicken legs.
Dude, I think
You know, I
Rob's
can't
got abs and shit.
show the fans out here. I'm gonna start charging them, but you follow me on
No.
OnlyFans, you get some nice leg pictures.
Yeah, but you leave the shoes on, right? Because I heard
Yeah,
that, like,
yeah. You don't want to
runners'
see
feet,
missing
like,
toenails.
yeah.
That shit loses fans. But if y'all are freaky, hit me up, DM me on Instagram. I'll put a little toe picture out there for y'all.
Speaking of which, give your at for Instagram.
Oh yeah, so at Robert Cassidy 1019, first name, last name, and then just my birthday. So if you want to follow, go ahead. I put content out there about fitness,
Once a year?
motivation, just share my life, very transparent, nothing to hide. So you
Like
got
once a
questions.
month, you know.
I'm getting better. I'm doing
He's
more
getting better.
stories.
Yeah, dude, your stories have been good. One of the things that you did for a post I really liked, and I think I commented on it, was taking people through an actual like 30-mile run. That was pretty cool. Like he did a reel where he explained like different points of the run and what it was like and what he was doing, and that was out in Alabama, or was that in Florida?
That was on one of the Florida trails. Yeah. So
Okay.
getting out there, experimenting more, and trying to make more reels to show people what it's like and how to train. Just want to keep it real with content.
Yeah. And as you're progressing, what you were telling me in a text message last night, because we're small talking before the show, that probably, and correct me if I'm wrong, one of the coolest ones you did was in Denali.
Yes,
Would you like
sir.
to would you like to take our listeners through that? Because it sounded like you had the setup for this.
Oh yeah. So how this played out was I was originally scheduled to do a 100K. So I was only going to do a 62-mile race back in June of 2021. Then the military said, hey, you're going to NCOA, Non-Commissioned Officer Academy. So I had to cancel my race and postpone it for the following year. Then when I reached out, I said, well, if I'm going to come back to Denali, I'm going to do, the 135-mile race. Why am I going to fly all the way from Florida to Alaska just to do 2 miles? That's just not who I am as a person. But to do it, the race director was like, hey, you got a great record, you got a great resume, but I need you to do a 100-mile race before you get here to kind of earn your entrance to the race. I said, okay, cool. So I signed up for Lake Martin 100, went up to Alabama, really like got the real ultra experience, started hallucinating, thought I was seeing like a spaceship out there,
Holy
was just like,
shit.
yeah, there's those stories, those runners, we all
Yeah,
understand,
yeah,
like
yeah.
you're up for 18 plus hours, miss a sleep cycle, you're just seeing shit. Like I really thought there was a car at one point next to me, and then there was nobody. It was nothing there. I thought I saw like these people in the trees. It was a whole experience that night. But
What kind of
finished that.
gummies are you taking on the trail?
I can't tell you where the military kicked me out, but
He's kidding. He's kidding.
yeah, totally kidding. So let's see. I did that. Then I got that race. I emailed the race director directly. I was like, hey, I just finished this 100-mile race. I want to get into the 135. He said, dude, that's awesome. You got second. I think you'd be great for this. I was like, perfect. So I got my admission in. Now the thing was,
Hang on. Pause. You say you got second
yeah. So
in
first,
that 100-miler.
yes, sir. Yep.
Holy fuck, don't just glaze over that shit. That's fucking incredible. What was your time?
I got 24 hours and 10 minutes. So I
24
was,
hours, 10 minutes, 100 miles.
24 hours of running.
oh yeah.
Oh my
24
god.
hours.
What was the time of the winner? Just out of
Uh,
curiosity.
shoot, I want to say he was at 21 hours.
Okay.
That one,
So,
yeah, yeah, he was booking it.
And then where were people behind you?
I'd have to go look at Ultra Sign Up and then
Okay,
find the
no
race.
worries.
Yeah,
It's still incredible. And you were just like, yeah, I came in like second place, blah, 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 on to the next story. I'm like, bro, like, hang on, like, tell us about that shit. That's fucking incredible, man.
yeah, it was awesome. So after I finished hallucinating, I sat there at the last checkpoint and I was like, I need a coffee. I need just to wake up real quick. And they're like,
Oh
you look
my
like you're dying. And I was like, just give me a coffee. I'm gonna close my eyes for 5 minutes, take a little nap, and I'm gonna get out and just some demon came over me. And then I just took off. Like I was running maybe about like 15-minute miles at that point. It was really fatiguing. I was just moving through the motions with my trekking poles, just falling asleep while running. 5-minute nap re-energized me, and I took off at like 8-minute miles just through these hills, backcountry, in the dark. And I was like, all right, we gotta just get this done. Like we gotta finish this, try and hit the 24-hour mark so I get a second belt buckle. Didn't get it, but the race directors and everybody were rooting for me, and I missed it by 10 minutes. So I said, you know what, I'll be back. So next weekend I'm going back to redeem myself and finish in
Holy
24
shit.
hours, and then
Holy
probably
shit.
hit 22 hours is the goal.
Holy
Jeez. So next weekend, back to
shit.
Alaska.
Back
No.
to Alabama.
That was
Alabama.
Alabama.
Oh, okay.
This was
Okay.
all for him to qualify for Alaska.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, so what was your next weekend time? You said it was under 24 hours.
So after that, I'm gonna go back next week to get a sub 24-hour finish.
Oh, okay.
So I've trying to remember the fastest I've hit 100 miles. I did a 24-hour run in October of last year. I did 116 hours for that one. So I know I hit it a lot faster. I can't remember the exact time. I think it was like 19 hours and 45 minutes. And it was just like 1 mile loop just going. And then, set the course record on that one. So, and going to go back again, obviously to beat myself. So
It's
My
crazy.
God, dude. And I've seen you take firsts on a couple of things too.
yes,
How many
sir.
belt buckles do you have?
Right now I've got four belt buckles.
So 4 first place.
Some races you get them for doing the 100 miles. First
okay,
place, shoot, maybe four races. I think I've gotten first. So yeah, and Ultra Sign Up has my record. So if I'm lying, go ahead and check me out. Call me out on there. I think it's 4. I think it's 4.
Is there any way we can bring up your stats?
Yeah. So if you you look up Ultra Sign Up, and you go into participants. You
Mm-hmm.
just look up my name. I'm not the 50-year-old one, so I'm the
Yeah,
27
you
year
are.
old.
Don't lie to us.
Shit, if I was a
He's
50-year-old
aged
one, I was
really
setting,
well.
setting records.
Dude, this is like, I don't know. This is the stuff that fascinates me. And well, Austin's bringing that up. So my little tidbit on ultras. I had an interest a couple years ago, in getting into them. My setbacks were this: one, I think they're insanely challenging. Two, Allie is everything to me. She's literally my service dog. She goes everywhere with me. Allie will sprint with me, but she will not run further. The furthest I've ever gotten her to run is maybe a 5K with a shit ton of stops. Like, I used to be able to run around like a 7:30, 8:30 pace. Like, those are comfortable paces for distance. And when we would run together, we were sometimes like at 9-minute paces because of the amount of time she would want to stop and pee on something. And it would just completely mess up my vibe. I would get so mad at her. And I was like, this is dumb. Like, either I'm going to train for this completely by myself, and then I'm not with my dog, which I'm around constantly. So it's kind of like, it's almost like an excuse and kind of a reality. But here's where I'm going to throw a flip while Austin's still getting it up. Finn,
Yeah, it's not pulling up for some reason.
do you think you can type it to us? And you see that little message?
The private chat feature on the right side.
It's a private chat feature. Or send it to us on Instagram.
Yeah, or Instagram or whatever.
Whatever's easiest for you.
Okay, yeah, it's not giving me the text box, so I'll send
it
it
to us.
Insta.
Yeah,
Okay,
if
I'll
you
grab
need to
it.
do it on your phone, just whatever. While you're looking that up, I'll finish saying something that I was thinking about. So the other day when I did the little 1 mile, 2 mile run or whatever, started thinking, I was like, man, like, it'd be kind of cool to get back into running. I wouldn't mind doing like trail running again though, because road running, man, that's so rough on your freaking knees and back and everything. Finn likes to run. So I was thinking, if I can get him running, and he's young, he's like 1.5. If I can get him into running, maybe like, I kind of had a goal a couple years ago that'd be cool to like knock out like a 50K. I think that would be like something more than a marathon, but not like, I don't picture myself doing a 100-miler. That's where my
Yeah,
head's
I
at.
mean, I remember we talked about you get into 50K.
Yeah, we
Super
did.
excited. Yeah, if you ever want to, let me know. Like your first ultra, whether it's your first or last, it's still an
There we
awesome
go.
accomplishment. So
So it says 7 trophies.
yeah.
Can you zoom in more on that, Austin?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so 14 races for those of you who are listening. You're 27 years old. Okay, break this down for us a little bit. Like, what do we got
Okay.
here?
Yeah, so the overall is the first, like the place you actually do. The group is where they assign you. So sometimes they'll do it by 20, 25, 25 to 30, 30, 35, and so forth. Or they just put you all based on like decades. So 20 to 30, you're group one. Whatever the case may be, that's how they break it down. So on the right side, if you get 100%, you're first place, right? These other rankings based on how you were ranked before. So we all get like, see my age rank, I'm 97.2. My overall rank is a combination of all my places and where I stood amongst everybody else. So that's how
Is
I've interpreted it.
is that basically saying for your age, and that's 20 to 30, that you're in the top 97%?
I would go ahead and assume yes, but I'm not going to try to boost myself up anymore because I think that I know I'm
That's
competitive
incredible, dude.
and there's very good runners out there.
Okay, and here's what's crazier. I bet you, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you know the community, and by no means, if anyone's listening to this who's a runner, Cassidy is one of the most humble people that I know. He's a fucking great dude. We are
Rob's
very
just over here talking shit about
no,
everybody else.
no, we're very ignorant about this stuff. So if he misquotes something and you get all pissy, come fucking find me. I'll fuck you up. Anyways, no, I'm kidding. But no, with the group that you're in, moving forward into like the next bracket, 30 to 40, do you see like a drop off? Like I have a feeling you would be you're
What's the
competing at-
average age for runners, basically?
So runners are all ages, everywhere you think of. When my parents supported me, the Cactus Rose 50, you got people out there 70, 80 years old. Most endurance athletes are peaking in their 30s because it's just built over time. So as we continue to
Interesting.
grow, I'm only going to get stronger, and everybody else in like their 30s is getting stronger. That's that experience that we build up.
Okay. Okay. Very interesting. Yeah, because like it was saying too that I think you're like 87% or something like that overall.
Yeah, and
That's
that factors in like the one DNF
everyone.
I told you guys about when I ran in
Oh, fuck,
Mhm.
that sucks.
Fairbanks. It's okay though. It's okay. It's a good learning
Yeah, I
step.
mean, it's
And
part of it. Yeah.
yep.
It's part of it, but I mean, like if you would have completed that, even where were you at in the race? Because that was your first like real one.
Yep.
So
Yeah. So I was
where were you at in that race? Were you in
second
the
place. Second
Oh
place out
my
of runners.
god, dude.
And I knew she was only about a mile in front of me. They told me when I got to checkpoint, she was 18 or not 18 miles, 18 minutes ahead. I was like, oh, okay, so maybe I can cut the gap. We'll see how it goes. And then they're like, none of you guys are gonna make it. I was like, well, I'm still gonna push. Like, it is what I'm gonna make it to that checkpoint. I don't care how I get there. I'm gonna get there.
Yeah. Holy fuck. Okay.
What's your favorite race you've done so far?
Favorite race so far would be the Denali 135.
Which was what we were building up to. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Take us on that story because you were texting me about it last night.
Yeah, so I did the Martin 100 email director. He's like, "Yeah, you're in. Let's go." So this race I had to get a crew for. So normally I self support, or my buddy when we were in Alaska, he would be there, and he'd be at a checkpoint or something, handing me snacks. But this one I had to get a crew who's gonna bus me around or meet me at checkpoints that we designed. And I hit up my buddy Nick, hit up Dakota, hit up my mom, and hit up our friend Don. And I was like, "All right, I need some down dogs to go." My mom said, "Sign me up. I'm flying up there. We're doing this together." Nick got sent out on a mission, so he had to drop out. And my buddy Dakota, he got off shift, bless his heart. He came all the way up there from working PNU at night to race with me. And then Dawn, she's one of our friends from the hospital, and she was out there supporting me as well. And that race was just gorgeous. I mean, we ran it on the summer solstice. So for Alaska, the sun's not going down for 24 hours.
Oh my
And
god. In the
yep,
park?
the Denali Highway, the whole Denali Highway we ran.
Okay. So
Yeah.
where was the start point? Where was the end point or turnaround point?
I'm trying to remember. So it was just one way the whole way.
Okay. You
I'm
started
trying
in
to
like
remember that.
Healy?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Near like
And
probably like 49th Brewing Company or something like that. Or the
we'll
campgrounds up there.
switch sides.
Oh, so you started to the south and finished.
Yeah, we
up.
had to go up. We climbed all the way up to
Oh
the
my god, you guys went up in elevation the whole time.
Yeah. So the race
That's fucking
director,
terrible.
he was like, "It's gonna be fun. You're gonna love it, and you get to like
You're
the
gonna love it
halfway."
as you climb all this elevation.
Oh,
Oh
trust
my
me, you should have
god.
seen my mouth. Like, my whole crew was laughing. He was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Another hill? This is what I signed up for. I love this stuff." You just get up and you go down. You're just going right back up again. So definitely humbles you when you're out there. And that was a great time. Love the views, love the experience I shared with my family. Was in constant race with this army guy and his crew for about a good 90 miles or so, and then we broke apart at that 90 to 95 mile mark. And then first place, a beast, amazing guy. He's done like backyard ultras, you know, these last man standings.
Mhm.
And I was trying to catch him, but that man had the lead. So
So
just pushed
second
all the way through.
place.
Yep. Got second place in that one. And I'm thinking like, wow, that's a pretty cool feeling, right? Like
That's
two
fucking legit,
races,
dude.
second place. And then I was like, I'm gonna just
You
get
going
back
back?
after
You
it.
didn't go back and do that one? Get first?
Shoot, don't tempt me with a good time because
Oh my
I'm the
God.
type of person that actually will reevaluate where I went wrong and how I can go back and get stronger. So that's why Lake Martin next weekend is going to be a huge mental challenge for me because I'm not finishing slower than I did last year, and I know damn well I'm going to go harder.
You're gonna hallucinate all over again?
Shit, probably like I'm on
Talk
peyote,
about
bro.
that. Talk about that. What's that like? Like, because I know there's a moment when it like switches from body to like mind. You know,
Yeah.
so when your mind takes over, talk about that. What's that like?
It's definitely mind over miles. That's one of the things I remind myself when you're out there. You know you're going off 18 hours of wakeness. You're just pushing for an extended period of time. Your body naturally wants to go to sleep at, you say you go to bed at 11, 10 o'clock, but you're running through that. You don't have as much food as you normally would. And it's just fighting to stay alive. And it's this weird out of body experience. I just remember like I saw me from like this, bird's view just trekking along. And I'm like, what's going on out here? This is kind of cool. Like I see me pushing through this and I'm just in my head like, oh, this sucks. Like just keep putting one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other and going through and you see like stuff that you're like, this can't be real. It scares you. You jump. You're like, okay, now I'm back in my body. Let's just keep going. Like I swear I thought I saw an alien mothership at Lake Martin 100. Called my mom the next day. I was like, I don't know if I'm on drugs, if they lay something at the aid station. Like I'm
Oh my
tripping.
God. Okay. All right.
And then,
What? Go ahead, Austin. You can ask first.
oh, I was gonna ask what's recovery like? Like after these 100 milers, like what's your recovery?
So I've been building up some strength after each one. The more I do, the stronger I get. And when I first started, I mean, I was toast for like at least 48 hours. I'm swollen. Like I pictures of my just full body's just bloated, it's just inflamed. It's just pushed it way further than it should have. Barely walking. I'm gonna record my post 100-mile walks, show you guys what it's like. I'm wobbling. The wind will just knock me over. You just blow my direction, I'm gonna fall. It's tough. So I do a lot of active recovery. So the next day I'm out there running about like as fast as I can. Not really as fast, but more slow paced. 2-3 miles just to get the blood pumping, body moving. So I'm not tightening up. Now put on some compression sleeves from Reathlete and sit there for about 30 minutes to an hour, just trying to get the blood flow going to my legs, reduce swelling, and hopefully get back after it in 2 days.
2 days?
I mean, I'm beat up for like a week or so, but I'm trying to get back out to the run within 2 days.
Holy fuck.
And Rob does a Murph and is out for a whole like week.
I mean, I worked out yesterday. I worked out really hard, but I mean, that was Wednesday. I had an opportunity to work out on Monday and we both kind of like bitched out on it. But I was actually, no, I take that back. Amanda ended up doing yoga on Monday and I was like, I'll watch the dogs. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'll watch
Using
the
the
dog. I'm like,
excuse.
I'm good. I'm good. Like my lats and biceps are killing me from the fucking pull-ups.
Now the next question is: would you ever do it like a triathlon or like an Ironman?
Actually,
You gonna
yes.
do an Ironman?
Yes. So my buddy Dakota, I was telling you about, next November, be trying out a half Ironman in Arizona, Rob.
Yeah, which
so
is what?
Where?
That's what 70. Is that 70.2?
yeah, the 70.3. Yep.
7.3. That's what it is.
Where
I
at?
gotta remember the actual. I think it's in Tempe,
Okay.
Arizona. So
You give me a heads up. I will come down and meet up with you guys and cheer.
Rob will do it with you.
Fuck no.
yeah, it's one of those things I'm low key about, but starting training November, actually gonna get a tri coach to do that. That's one of those things where I feel like they're the experts and I gotta follow them.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, because I'm assuming, do you have any cycling or swimming experience, or is that going to all be new to you?
So I've cycled for fun. Swimming, I would train with my buddy in Dakota. He would, put me in the pool. We would just go at it. Not horrible, but I've got a lot of technique to improve upon. So I'm
Now,
not
but do you do open water swimming or do you do all in the pool?
in Alaska all in the pool. Here, I'm going to challenge myself to do open water swimming. It is
Mm.
pretty frightening, not gonna lie, but
I've heard it's way different. So, because
yeah.
I followed Nick Bear when he did his whole triathlon prep and everything for Ironman, and he said it's a whole different beast from going to a pool into like open water.
Yeah, that's James Ironman Cowboy. He talks about it. I follow Nick Bear's journey as well, and
Mm.
it's different. I know Panama City they do it in the ocean, so you
Yep,
got to get
right
really
off the
comfortable.
pier.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Speaking of Nick Bear, did you ever hear about his experience with like the Leadville 100?
Yep,
You gonna
I
you gonna
watched
do that?
the YouTube. Oh, look, I'm trying to get into the Super Bowls. I'll do Badwater. I'll do the Moab
The
240, the
Oh my
Badlands
Leadville.
god!
is crazy.
Oh my
It's what,
god!
200, right? Badlands is 200.
Badwater's the 135 in
Is it? Okay.
Death Valley, the hottest time of the year. Chris Kosman's the race director, and then Moab 240 in Utah.
Yeah.
That's like they give you like 100 something plus hours to finish that race.
Jesus. Trying to be like Cam Haynes out here.
Hey, there's sources of inspiration, and I'm
Have you
just
ever
gonna get after
seen
it.
any of the like the big athletes that we're all like interested in at any of these races, or have you not been to any
So
of
I have met
those
the
races?
speed goat, Carl Metzler. I met him at the Blood Rock 100
Mhm.
last December. Really awesome dude, really humble guy. He loves to joke around. Huge respect to
Mhm.
him. I stayed with him the first loop. He definitely was just out there to have a good time and spread his love for running, and he killed it. He got first place. He's the speed goat. So I've had the luxury to run against him, but nobody else yet like Goggins, Cam Haynes, Nick Bear. But I'm sure I'll see them out there. I'd love to run
Eventually,
with,
yeah.
yeah, Sally McRae, Courtney DeWalter. I'd love to run
Okay.
with them as I continue.
I mean, yeah, you're still young. Like you got like years and years ahead of doing this. So
Oh
It's
yeah, I'm trying to hit the 100 mile club. So
what's that?
the few ultra runners that actually hit 100 mile races in their ultra career. So you got to get after. I'm trying to aim for 400s every year for the next 25 years.
holy fuck, dude.
Jeez.
There's like I knew that you were doing all this cool shit, and it's so much deeper than I thought it was, and it's incredible. And this is exactly why I told Austin. I was like, I'm
Mhm.
stoked to have him on because he's gonna blow our mind. I kind of wish that we would have just jumped into the ultra stuff because like it's fucking fascinating, dude. What about Coco? When you go running, how far does she go with you typically on your runs?
So being here in Florida and it's hot as hell, so I got to get her out
Yeah.
early in the mornings. We do about like a morning 5K every day minimum.
Okay.
And the longest she's ever ran with me was 22 miles, and we were in Alaska.
Holy
She
shit.
loved the winter.
Holy shit. That's incredible. And then
She's
what's
a
her
beast. She's a
yeah.
beast.
Yeah, Allie will hike anything. Like Allie's the most Allie's done is 28 miles with me. And then she did the Grand Canyon with me. She just walked in here, ironically.
She heard her
Um,
name, bro.
yeah, but she's not a runner. Whereas like Finn is a runner. She's 100% a hiker, can do anything like hiking wise, but not so much a runner.
Yeah, she gets so mad at me if I don't take her with me. Like
Oh,
it's a whole attitude.
She's like, I know you're going. You better take me,
Yeah.
Dad.
It's like I'm cheating on her, bro. She's like, I know you're out there getting the steps. Come on.
yeah, I know, I know. Okay, cool. What would you tell someone, maybe our listener, who's interested in maybe working up to an ultra or getting into trail running, where would you guide them to, like a starting point, shoes, or like just any pieces of advice that you could give to someone?
That's a great question. A lot to unpack there. For ultra running, find your source of inspiration how you want to, whether it be through books, podcasts, audiobooks, YouTube videos. There's a lot out there for you. Two books I recommend is Hal Corner's Field Guide to Ultra Running and How to Run Your First Ultra by Chrissy Mole. So those two books
Okay.
kind of helped me. They've got training plans in there for people. A lot of advice too, where it's like, this is what you do uphill. This is what you do downhill. Use your trekking poles this time. This is how you should train for speed and all that good advice. And my biggest piece of advice to people would be go slow. Listen to your heart rate. Heart rate training's very crucial for long distances. You're really trying to reserve your energy so that way you can go for those 24 hours. You can go for 36 if you need to. You can hit 200-mile races. You got to go slow to build your aerobic base. It's not about being the hardest and fastest person out there. We all have our own journey. Everybody's going to be there to support you. And the community is so big that you shouldn't be afraid to approach anybody when you're there. I've ran with guys who've run the Western States 100. You would have never guessed it, but they were giving me tips on how, if I ever go there, how to do it. So connect with other ultra runners. Don't be afraid, whether you're a rookie, whether you're, intermediate, 5K runner, whatever you are, just get to know the people.
Okay. Cool. Very cool. And we're going to keep following you, and we need to share your stuff. We need to build up your Instagram. We need you to post more, and then we'll help you build, because wow.
That's much appreciated. And, I'm going to get after a lot more races this year. So not everything's on ultra sign up. There are local races that they don't put out there. So I'll be posting more content at least twice a month this year to challenge myself to get out there and get uncomfortable being uncomfortable.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Austin, is there any other things you want to talk about, or you got any other questions on your mind?
I mean, I think we're good, man. Like I said, we're about an hour and a half in, so
yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we get into the famous ATI?
No, I mean, I just, like I said, I've been extremely grateful to be here, and thank you for the opportunity. I'll keep connecting with you guys in the community, and if anybody has any questions for me, feel free to reach out, and I'll be happy to talk to you.
Yeah, definitely. And like, you over the years have been one of those people that
you're gonna get Rob back into running.
I'm thinking about it. I swear to
Hell
God, I'm
yeah.
actually thinking about it. Like, you woke something up the other day with that that Murph. That Murph did something, because I've been out of shape. I've been struggling at hockey. Like it's been like, I think I told you, Cassidy, and Austin knows a lot about like my personal life. I've made a lot of excuses, and I've been really slow at my transition back to, like, I did really fast at getting back to walking and then getting back to hockey. I felt like I did really fast at all those things. But there's been points where I've just gone lazy and eaten like shit, or consistently eating like shit, not having like the same type of diet that I used to have.
Well, now that you have just someone who'll help you cook better.
Oh my God, the meals that we've eaten in this house. So hang on. Amanda, what's the name of that company that does the food?
It's not just chicken and rice anymore. They're eating plain chicken and rice.
So there's a company that I'll have to shout out, and maybe the next. What's the name of that company that we got the food from?
Misfit Markets.
Misfit Market. Okay, so it's this company called Misfit Market. They have stuff that's like organic produce, organic meats, and it's things that you would normally find in a grocery store that's healthy. It's all things that for some reason they cannot sell it on a grocery store shelf because maybe the squash has a blemish on it that wouldn't look good, or maybe the packaging has a little bit of damage but it hasn't broken the seal. Whatever the deal is, it's like 40% off of the cost. Like she bought probably about like 200 and something dollars worth of groceries and vegetables and fruits and shit the other day. And we got it delivered to our door for like, I think like $116 tax free, or like after taxes. Just really, really good stuff. So long story short, been eating healthier. The little Murph thing kicked my ass. Been trying to get after in the gym. Having the conversation with you, dude, has inspired me maybe to get into like
Maybe.
a little bit of trail running, especially if I can get like Finn to do it with me, I'd be down. Because here's where I'm at with my life. I'm 40 years old. I've traveled the world. I have a beautiful fiance. I'm very happy. The things that matter most to me in my life right now are my woman, my job, my dogs, and travel. So if I can somehow take one of those components, hockey too. And if I can take one of those components and add it in, it's worth it. But if I can't add in the dog, it's not worth me being that much time away from the people and family and friends that I love. And it sounds like a cop out, but I swear to God, like that's a big part of it.
We all have our things, brother. So don't beat yourself up on that. I respect your decisions and what you want to do. Right? Family, your fiance, the dogs, hockey. Your passions are your passions, and you can't change that. Right? Like that's who you are. That's your identity. So own it, bro. Like if you ever want to go out there and do that 50K, you just hit me up. I mean, like I said, if it's in Arizona, I'd fly over there and run it with you, man.
Holy
Like
shit, that would be so cool. But like, would you go at my pace? Like,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be able
absolutely.
to. Okay, like I'm not.
No,
Absolutely.
you have to keep up with him. You have to run at his pace.
We'll have to make sure.
you know.
We'll have to make sure though that is there a way that you can do that without it counting against you? Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. I can be a pacer. That you can have
Perfect.
pacers in ultra. So I would
perfect because
crew for you,
I
pace for
will
you.
I will take you from the 97 percentile down
to like the 10th.
towards the 10.
Hey man,
Exactly.
it's all good. It's all
Not
good.
a fast runner anymore. I came back to the house.
You go 8-minute miles to like 30-minute miles.
Dude,
You're gonna get it done though.
when I did the Murph the other day, the mile I did, the first one was like 8 minutes 30 seconds or whatever. I'm like, holy shit, like that's pretty good for the fact that I haven't ran in like a fucking year. And I was thinking like, yeah, but I wouldn't want to do that for a very long time unless it wasn't on pavement. Like that's what I kept thinking. I was like, running would be cool, but this pavement shit sucks. And there's a bunch of trails out here. So
Yeah, jealous of the surroundings for sure. Love Mother Nature, so take
Dude.
advantage of it, man.
yeah. And if you want to come out and visit, man, we got a spot for you. Give us about a month or two is what we're telling everyone right now, because Amanda does not have all of her stuff here yet. We're not completely settled in, but we would 100% host you. Or if you want to do some hiking or
You have to
trail
run to
running.
the bottom of the canyon and run back up.
There's fuckers that do that shit.
I would be right there with you.
I mean, you'd be ahead of me, but
I
like,
think Rob wouldn't be doing
I would
that.
I'm not doing that. Like, there's other people that are doing that.
That's fine.
It-
I'll see them down there. I'm like, hey, dude.
So one of my buddies, did you know Daryl Vispo? I think he left before you got there. I'll have to like. He lives in California now, but he's a marathon runner. He's done some small ultras, I think. Like I don't think he's ever really crossed beyond like 50 miles, but he's done a lot of like marathons. He came out here a few months ago and did a rim to rim to rim, which is I can't remember how many miles it is. It's a stupid amount of miles, but basically you start on the south rim, you go all the way down to the bottom, which is about 10 to 14 miles down, go across Phantom Ranch all the way up the North Rim, which is an additional like 10, 13 miles, come back down, and then back over to the South Rim and then back up. While you guys are talking about that, I'm going to look up what the distance is because it's going to bother me.
Yeah, the rim to rim to rim is it's one of those things that I know some ultra runners train with. I've read about it before in Scott Jurick's book, Eat and Run. It would be a fun experience. It's a lot of elevation change. It's probably hot as hell down there. Good training.
44 to 47 miles, and it's 11,000 feet in elevation gain. That's insane.
And you're going up and down and up and down.
Prime training right there.
I did the whole entire, like, all the way down and up, and that was 19.6 miles, and I think it was over 6,000 feet in elevation. So it fucking sucks. But I hiked it. I did not run that shit.
Yeah, no.
And Allie did it. So shout out.
Hell yeah.
All right. Maybe we should get into some ATI here. Because otherwise I'll keep rambling about running.
I mean, I'm ready if you are.
I'm waiting on you, man. Tell these people what ATI is.
ATI is would you rather questions that we get from the internet. Some are fucked up, some aren't. Just depends. So if you don't like fucked up, like super fucked up things, or don't want to hear things that he probably shouldn't be answering, then you can just skip this part right here and end it here.
Okay. I'm also like, are these ones really fucked up or no?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna find a really fucked up one.
I mean, we have a couple fucked up ones. If he's really a good listener, he can answer.
Oh, memory is not that great. I hallucinate, bro.
I'm gonna add in one. Read the first one, Austin.
Okay. Would you rather travel the world for a year, all expenses paid, or have $4 million to spend on whatever you want?
Travel the world in a year with all expenses paid.
Okay. What about you, Rob?
Would you rather?
He didn't even hear. You're not even listening.
No, I wasn't. I feel like I could do a bunch of traveling with $4 million, but
Good.
fuck, that's a tough one because like part of me thinks I can make the 4 mil work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 4 million because I've done enough traveling that I would figure out a way to take half of it and put it on the side, invest it, and then the other half would be utilized towards traveling. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. What about you, Austin?
I'm going 4 million.
Okay.
I mean,
Why did you go the other way?
I'm thinking life's too short. Maybe I only got a year. Gonna travel the whole year, run every race I can, go all over the world, run each continent, just get out there and do some stupid wild runs, record it while I'm at it, and just get it. I mean, 4 million is 4 million, but pure happiness to me is in that moment. So travel the world and get paid for it. Why not?
Okay. I don't disagree with you. I don't think it's a terrible decision. All right. Would you rather have a personal maid or a personal chef?
Personal chef, most definitely. That would help a lot.
100%.
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead, Austin. What do you got?
No, personal chef all the way. If I didn't have to worry about what food I was gonna cook, or if I can just tell, hey, will you cook this for me, or just tell them like, here, make these meals for me. This is the kind of food I want to eat. Not have to worry about it ever again. Done.
And you know what's been killing us lately is the cleanup. Like Amanda will make some fucking bomb ass food, but it's the amount of time that it takes her to prepare it and make it, because she's cutting up like fresh vegetables and stuff and adding them in, and the amount of things that get dirty. And if she's gonna cook the meal, like I'm gonna offer to clean.
Well, yeah, you spend 30 minutes making the food and then 2 hours cleaning up.
Oh my god. So like it's crazy. Like yeah, personal chef would definitely be better because I'll make those fuckers clean
Does the
too.
personal chef clean up though?
Yes, 100%. What chef's gonna leave
That's a
like
win then, bro. Because
Right.
the personal maid, we're all military. We got that drilled down to us.
yeah, we can clean up. All right, next question. What you got?
Would you rather shit yourself every time you go to work or every time you go to the grocery store?
I would
I feel
rather
it.
shit myself going to work so I can get out of more meetings and I don't have to sit there and listen to people ramble.
Oh my
PT
god.
every morning, you're gonna shit yourself.
Guess what? I'm gonna get out of it.
Oh fuck. Oh god.
What are you picking, Rob?
Grocery store, man. Like I'm in charge of the park right now. I can't afford to like
You're gonna shit
not
yourself every
come
time
in.
you walk in the door.
Oh my god. All right. I think we're in ATI, so we're kind of safe to say this. So 2 times in my life this has happened. It was like 2 weeks ago. I was just walking around and my stomach was killing me.
You
And
saying
I
you
fucking
shit yourself 2 weeks ago?
I sharted, dude, like bad. Like and Amanda was living here. And I was
Oh
like,
jeez.
I farted and like just shit came out. And I was
It
like,
was
oh
more than a
man.
fart.
Oh, it was way more than a fart. And I was thinking back to the last time it happened. I was at like a post high school party and it happened at a party and I had to like throw my fucking underwear out a window. So, so, so wait, it gets better. So like I'm in the bathroom and I'm like, fuck, I just shit my pants. Like this is bad. Like I mean, me and Amanda know about like we're at the point where we talk about, like I'm going to the bathroom, I'm going to take a shit, whatever. Like we're not like shy about that. But I'm
But
like,
did you tell you to shit yourself?
oh, 100% I did. And I was like, I gotta tell you something embarrassing that I've done now twice in my life. I told her the story about the one post high school, and then I was like, and then tonight I farted and it turned into a shit. And she's like, what are you going to do with the underwear? And I'm like, oh, don't worry. I threw them out and I'm getting ready to take the trash out right now. So if you're wondering why I'm taking out the trash at like 10 o'clock at night,
That's
because
why.
I shit my pants and had to throw them out. So there we go. I knew I'd eventually admit that on the podcast.
Good job, Rob. Good job.
So grocery store, because
Okay.
work would, yeah. I don't go to the grocery store that much. You?
I mean, I'm gonna have to go grocery stores. I work from home, so every time I go to work, I'd be just constantly shitting myself. Or like how that work? Like,
No, I think you should shit yourself from the house. I think that's great.
I mean, hey, it'd be the best place to do it. I mean,
I mean, yeah. Honestly,
I'll just wear
like,
a diaper. I'll just wear a diaper and then.
Okay. All right. Would you rather? Oh, he's gonna. Would you rather get your fingernail or toenail torn off? I already know the answer for you.
Yeah, it's gonna be toenails. They're already numb. It doesn't matter. They're just torn up, dude. After these
Well, I
races.
imagine.
Oh my god! How many times have you lost? Have you lost both big toenails?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Any of the other ones?
Yep. Lost my pinky. Lost the one right next to the pinky toe. Lost, I guess, the one right next to the big toe on both. Yeah. It's normal. They're all back though.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Ripping toes, running ultras, man. That's like the name of this podcast, I think. Something like that. What about you, Austin?
I'm gonna have to go toenails because fingernails I think would hurt way too much.
I think so too, as I touch my fingernails. Yeah, toenails. Okay. We need to find more fucked up ones.
I
kinda
we got a
grabbed
couple,
this
so
one.
just ask that one. Just ask that one.
Hmm?
So we got a couple we can choose from. Just
Okay,
ask
you
that
want to
one.
grab? I'll ask that one. I don't know if it's gonna work though. We'll see. Would you rather see your other half in a porn or your parents? I think you're single, so like that doesn't.
Yeah, so I'm single, but Shit, that's a tough
If
one.
if you were in a relationship, by the way, ladies, he is single. He's very attractive and he's very healthy.
He's
got
committed
fucked
to
up
running.
feet. He's got fucked up feet, but everything else is good.
And we'll probably make $1 million off OnlyFans, so don't worry. Shit, maybe this is a good one, but probably my parents. You know, gotta learn the moves, bro. How did it happen? I'm not the jealous type to see my significant other one in there either, but it's also gonna be one of those things like, well, why don't we
this is
shoot
why
one?
he's single.
Oh man, well, Austin. Will you grab one? I'll answer this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do. I don't want to see Amanda in a porn. No, I'll just go with my parents.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I think that's the simplest answer. All right, do we got one more fucked up, and then we'll close this out?
I got a fucked up one. Would you rather fuck a chick who's banged 1,000 dudes, or a chick who's banged one animal?
Oh my god.
That's why not be 1001?
I mean, you Air Force guys, do everything easy. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah. She might not even remember it. It's all good. Animals a lot to get over.
Yeah, what animal did she fuck is the question.
I don't know. Whatever animal you want to think of.
Just imagine
the
a horse immediately.
Oh god.
Like, bro, I don't compare. Sorry.
Right.
Oh my god. Yeah. But what if it was like a little dog or whatever? It's just one dog.
That's still fucking weird.
It is weird.
What if some chick fucked Allie and then would you want to fuck?
I'd beat that chick up. Like, why the fuck you touching my dog? I don't know if I want to be with a girl that's been with 1,000 dudes. So no, I'm doing like I'm hoping for the best. And
she fucked an elephant.
Oh my god, that'd be awful. Yeah,
just a silverback gorilla, bro. It's just beat.
All right, one animal. There we go. What's that?
I'm going with that 1,000 dudes.
Of course you are. Okay, cool.
Probably be Eskimo Bros.
Oh my god, that's a gross question. I don't. What is this that we're playing here? I don't like this.
Yeah, it got dark.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Well,
is there anything else?
No, I think unless Cassidy, do you got anything you want to plug before we close this out?
The only thing I would say, I mean, I've got a deal with Athletic Brewing, so if anybody wants Athletic Brewing, you can hit me up. You have a promo code where you get 20% off of your non-alcoholic beer or sparkling water at athleticbrewing.com using Robert20. So first name, all caps, and then 20, and you'll get 20% off your first order.
Non-alcoholic beer. Who wants that?
It's Team Sober right here, baby.
Okay. No, that's interesting. And like a little bit about the company. Are they like better for like carbs and stuff, or is it just non-alcoholic?
It's so, at races and stuff, there's always beer and stuff at the end, and there's never something where people who are sober can celebrate. Well, this company gives back to the trails, gives back to the community, and teams up with small businesses and other things to get their name out there. They did the Soul Sour this last month for Black History Month, and they gave some proceeds to certain businesses. And then it's another way for athletes to celebrate amongst their peers who just don't drink. And now we have non-alcoholic beverage to celebrate with them with, and they taste just like beer. I'm not making that up. That's anybody who I've known. Yeah, and if you guys give me your address after this, I'll send you some courtesy of me, so you guys can try it out and hopefully enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm definitely down. And quick question then: have you always been sober, or was this like a choice at a certain point?
Once I started taking my running serious, so a couple of years ago, I decided that I'd give up alcohol.
Just completely quit alcohol.
Mm-hmm. There's more of a health thing. Yep.
That's
Okay.
incredible, man. No, I dig that. I wish you would have said that earlier, because not everyone comes to the very end of the show. Like some people will listen to
Well,
ATI.
fuck
and
them.
just
If they don't, that's their
yeah,
fault.
yeah, I guess fuck them. Okay, yeah, definitely. Send us the like a link to that site, maybe that promo
Yeah.
code, and Austin will include it in the show notes.
Show notes. Yeah, yeah.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Can do.
Cool. And then other than that, excuse me, Austin, you got anything you want to plug?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. I think we're still up in the air and or not doing the April event. So I'm pretty sure we're not doing it. We're going to have to find other things to do.
Yeah, do better, Rob.
No,
There's
you
a
do
world
better.
of possibilities.
Yeah. We'll figure something out. But either way, the podcast is still going to be going no matter what.
Maybe.
Both
I'm
sides.
not sure. We'll see.
Whatever. All right. We love you guys. Peace.